Hi guys, I'm Kadist and I'm gonna be your teacher for today. Today we're gonna see some questions based on the last chapter we reviewed together. And the review karagno unit 3 last chapter. Like የተወሰኑ የኢንትራንስ ኤግዛም ጥያቄዎችን እንሰራለን። So continuing አሁን እነዚህ ጥያቄዎች ኢንቮልቭ የሚያደርጉት ብዙ ጊዜ ኮንዲሽናል ሴንተንስ ነው። ሞዲፋየርስ እና ፓርቲሲፕልስ ኢንቮልቭ የሚያደርጉት ብዙ ጊዜ ወይ በቴንስ ፎርም ነው የሚመጣው ጥያቄው ካልሆነ ደግሞ በኔክስት ቻፕተሮች በመናያቸው ለሰኖች ውስጥ ሞር ኤክስፕላኔሽን ይሰጣቸዋል። ለአሁኑ ግን በተማርነው መሰረት ኮንዲሽናል ሴንተንስ ብዙ ጥያቄ አለ፣ ብዙ ጥያቄ ይመጣል። ሞዲፋየርስ ኤንድ ፓርቲሲፕልስ ግን የተወሰኑ ጥያቄዎችን አብረን እንሰራና አሁን በሚመጡት ለሰኖች ደግሞ ሞር ተጨማሪ ጥያቄዎችን እየሰራን እንሄዳለን ማለት ነው። So question number 1, had there been no trace of evidence for his involvement in the death of the old lady in the neighborhood, the police blank so serious about keeping him custody. So እዚህ ላይ we need to know the if clause and the main clause. Okay, had there been ማለት we can use had as if እዚህ ላይ if ከዛ for example if we insert if clause ላይ we would say if there had been no trace እንደማለት ነው። okay, this የመጀመሪያው had ከፊት የምትመጣው is when we remove ifን remove ስናደርግ የሚመጣ ሲሆን ሃዱ ከፊት ይመጣል ማለት ነው። okay, so the had, the have, the is ምናምን ከፊት ይመጣል። for example ወደ if ስንቀይረው we can say if there had been no trace of evidence for his involvement. okay, በራሁን ያልነው had there been no trace of evidence for his involvement. so በኢፍ ነው የቀየርነው ብለናል። በኢፍ ባንቀይረው if ቢገባ ኖሮ if there had been የሚለው ቢሆን ኖሮ ምን ይሆን ነበር? አሁንም ምንድነው ያለው? past perfect. okay, አሁንም ያለው past perfect ነው። so past perfect ሲሆን if clause main clause ላይ ምን ይመጣል? would plus have plus past participle ወይ ደግሞ verb 3. so ከነዚህ would plus past participle plus verb 3 ያሉት are B and C. would have been and wouldn't have been. so እነዚህን ዲሳይድ የምናደርገው በሴንተንሱ ኮንቴክስት ነው። so let's read it again now. Had there been no trace of evidence for his involvement in the death of the old lady in the neighborhood, የሰፈሯ ትልቅ ሴትዮ ሞት ላይ የሱ እጅ መኖሩን የሚያሳይ ምንም አይነት ኤቪደንስ ባይኖር ኖሮ okay, this is negative ባይኖር ኖሮ the ፖሊሶቹ serious blank. okay, so ኔጌቲቭ ነው ያለው so ይሄንን ኢምፕላይ የሚያደርግ also ኔጌቲቭ ነው የሚሆነው። okay, so ኤቪደንስ ባይኖር ኖሮ እሱን ስለ እስር ቤት ውስጥ ማቆየት ፖሊስ ሲሪየስ አይሆንም ነበር። ኤቪደንስ ባይኖር ኖሮ ሲሪየስ አይሆንም ነበር። ኤቪደንስ ቢኖር ኖሮ ሲሪየስ ይሆኑ ነበር። okay, that's how we take it. so ሁለቱም ኔጌቲቭ ሁለቱም ፖዚቲቭ። so እዚህ ላይ ኔጌቲቭ ያለው is wouldn't have been. okay, wouldn't have been. And the second question is, if you continue practicing English like this, you blank speak fluently very soon. if clause ላይ ምን አለን? if clause ላይ we have simple present tense. but he is not a fact አይደለም። this is a possibility, suggestion ነው። የሆነ ሰው suggest ያደርገልን ነው። we don't know for sure. and የፈለገ ፕራክቲስ ያርግም ላይችል ይችላል እኮ but we don't know for sure. ስለዚህ we're suggesting in order for it to be better. so suggest ስናደርግ ምንድነው ብለናል? ምን ይሆናል ብለናል? you continue or will be able to. suggest ስናደርግ ወይ ለfuture action ሊሆን የሚችል for the future ሊሆን የሚችል ነገር ሲሆን you will be able to do something. okay, will plus verb 1. so here we have will plus be. so the answer is B. Got that, Alan? There is no point in sitting and contemplating. Dash study hard, score good, and join the department of my choice. every choice we have if I were you. In every choice we have if I were you. ልዩነቱ እዚህ ላይ ነው። Okay? እዚህ ላይ ነው. So first of I can and I will are different. So we remove this. So A አይሆንም. The second one, if I were you, I would. Okay? If I were you, I would. So in the if clause, we have were, which is past. We have were, which is past. Past simple now. Past simple ሲሆን we said subject plus modal auxiliary verb, modal verb, which is would, plus verb 1. We said would plus verb 1. Right? So study is a simple present form. Study is in its simple present form. ስለዚህ I would plus verb 1. ይሄንኛው ቢሆን I ብቻ I study hard ብቻ ቢሆን ኖሮ this should have been not if I were you, because if I were you is an impossibility. ሊሆን የማይችል ነገር ነው. This is conditional type 2. Okay? Conditional type 2 ሊሆን የማይችል ነገር የምንገልጽበት, an impossibility የምንገልጽበት ነው. And the fourth one, if I were you, I will ማይሆንበት ምክንያት if I were is also an impossibility. Will ካስገባን main clause ላይ, I will ካስገባን main clause ላይ is conditional type 1, which we use for possibilities, suggestions, and so on. So it's conditional type 1. So this shouldn't have been if I were you. መሆን አልነበረበትም. ሌላ simple present form ያለው sentence መስጠት ነበረበት ማለት ነው. Okay? Then we continue. I don't understand. So did we answer this? Yeah. It's B. The answer is B. We continue. I don't understand why she wouldn't lend us one if she blank 2 books. So here we have wouldn't lend. Wouldn't lend. Wouldn't lend is in its would plus verb 1 form. Would plus verb 1 form. So conditional type 2 ነው. Conditional type 2 ነው. Conditional type 2 ከሆነ if clause ላይ ምንድነው የሚመጣው ማለት ነው? We talked about this. If clause ላይ past simple tense ነው የሚመጣው. Past simple tense. So has አይሆንም because it's present perfect form. Has had አይሆንም present perfect form. Had አይሆንም past perfect form. Had ግን had is the past of have. Verb 2 form you have now. So the answer is D. Had. And then we continue. She wondered if blank a new laptop. She wondered if blank a new laptop. You had been bought. You have been bought. I have been bought. No, I would buy. So አሁን እያወራን ያለነው ስለ conditional sentence ነው. በዚህ ቻፕተር ላይ ያወራንበት ያለን lesson are conditional sentence. So conditional sentences ከሆነ ድረስ በconditional sentence form ነው የምንመልሰው. Okay? Exam ላይ you need to know what type of question you're answering. ምን አይነት ጥያቄ እየመለሳችሁ እንዳለ ማወቅ አለባችሁ. ግዴታ would የት አለ ብላችሁ መፈለግ የለባችሁም. ከነዚህ ውስጥ መልስ የሚሆን ሌላም ሊኖር ይችላል. But today we're talking about conditional sentence, so focusaችን conditional sentence ላይ ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው. Wondered, we have wondered here. Wondered, which is a verb to form. Verb to ነው. Verb to ማለት simple present, simple past form ነው ያለው አሁን ማለት ነው. It's in a simple past form. So main clause ላይ simple past form ካለ if clause ላይ is gonna be I would buy. I would buy. Okay? Since we're talking about conditionals. Would. I would buy. So we've got D. Then we continue. If I blank her, I would learn from her. So here we have in the main clause would plus verb 1. Would plus verb 1. It's the verb. Would plus verb 1 is conditional type 2. It's conditional type 2. So conditional type 2 ላይ ሲሆን in the if clause ምን ይመጣል? Simple past. Simple past ይመጣል. So met ይሆናል መልሱ. Have met ቢሆን ኖሮ this would have been simple present perfect. present perfect tense ይሆን ነበር have met meet ቢሆን ኖሮ simple present tense would have met ቢሆን ኖሮ this should have been in the main clause or the main clause የሚገባ ነው so we don't say this. The next question, you wouldn't have lost your job if you blank your boss. You wouldn't have lost your job if you blank your boss. So you wouldn't have main clause like we have wouldn't have lost. Wouldn't have lost. So lost is in its past participle form of lose, and then we have and then we have would. Okay? So yeah, form main clause like minasayal conditional type 3. So if clause like min menor alebet past perfect tense. So the answer is if you had not insulted your boss, you wouldn't have lost your job. So you need to focus on the tense form of the if clause and the main clause. If not main clause like yellow, the tense form like focus ማድረግ አለብን ግዴታ. And then we continue. Question number 8. He blanked the accident if he had been more careful. He blanked the accident if he had been more careful. So we have had been. So had plus verb 3 or past participle form of be, been. Okay? So this is past perfect tense. So if clause like past perfect tense kallen, obviously third conditional sentence. So third conditional sentence demo we said would plus have plus verb 3. No follow America. So the answer is A. Avoided indihon, be indihon. The answer this should have been something else. Totally ሌላ ይሆናል because conditional sentence like main clause like past simple ሊመጣ አይችልም. Either will ይኖራል, would ይኖራል, ካልሆነ ደግሞ simple present tense ነው የሚኖረው እንጂ simple past tense አይመጣም. Okay? And then C ያልሆነበት ምክንያት would avoid ያልሆነበት ምክንያት this should have been simple past tense. Okay? Simple past tense. If he were ቢሆን እዚህ ጋር if he were more careful ቢሆን ኖሮ we would have said would avoid. Will avoid conditional type 1. No? ወይ ደግሞ first conditional. So will avoid እንዲሆን we should have had simple present tense in the if clause. Simple present tense መኖር ነበረበት. Okay? We continue. We don't understand why he always comes late. If he arrives on time, like his friends, he blanked the opportunity to meet us and get the necessary assistance. So ይሄ ምንድነው? This is a suggestion. ቶሎ ቢመጣ እኮ ያገኘን ነበር. Kind of suggestion. No. In the if clause, we have simple present tense. Again, and now this whole sentence is not a fact. It's a suggestion. So as long as it's a suggestion, main clause line ይሆናል. Here we have simple present and a suggestion no sentence. So main clause line ይሆናል will plus verb 1. Will plus verb 1. And then we continue. If she blank persistent dry cough, I would have called 8335, but that wasn't the case. It just looked like an ordinary flu. So እኛ ፎከሳችን አሁን if እና main clause ላይ ነው. We don't need this. ከዚህ በኋላ ያለው አያስፈልገንም. ከዚህ በፊት ያለው ነው ፎከሳችን መሆን ያለበት. So main clause ላይ we have would have called. Would have plus past participle ከዛ would have አለ. So this is conditional type 3 ማለት ነው. Conditional type 3 ነው ይሄ. Conditional type 3 ከሆነ if clause ላይ ምንድነው የሚመጣው? Past perfect tense ማለት ደግሞ had plus verb 3. So let's look for had. እዚህ ጋር we have it here. Had verb 3 ነው ያለው ካጠገቡ. Had is the past participle form of has or have. የhas እና የhave past participle form ነው had. So we have had plus had. So the answer is B. Has had የሚሆነው this is present perfect. Present perfect ደግሞ if clause ላይ አይገባም conditional sentence ላይ did have ደግሞ this is in its question form or ከፊት ሲመጣ so this is not the answer. Would have goes into the main clause ስለሆነ የሚሄደው this is wrong. So 11ኛ the whole story blank by the kids in a few days. So አሁን የምንመልሰው ለparticiples ነው. Participles and participle phrases. The whole story blank by the kids in a few days. So እዚህ ውስጥ የምናስገባው past participle ነው. Past participle ሲሆን past participle ግን tense የሚለውጥ አይነት past participle ነው. እዚህ ውስጥ እንደ adjective ሳይሆን የምንጠቀምበት tense የሚቀይር. So the whole story blank by the kids in a few days. So had been forgotten. Had been ቢኖር እዚህ ላይ we would have said this, but was forgotten because this is in its passive form. Active form አይደለም. See, the subject are the kids. Kids not your subject. The object is the story. The story is the object. አይደል? But passive form ላይ ነው. Passive form ላይ እስካለ ድረስ we use the tense of the sentence, the verb to be, which is, are, was, were, and verb 3 form of the active verb. ይሄ ማለት active voice እና passive voice ስናይ ለቀጣይ ለሰኖች we'll probably see this, but ትንሽ ገረፍ አድርጌላችሁ ልለፍ. The kids are the ones who are doing the action. actionን እየፈጸሙት ያሉት ሰዎች or subject are ልጆቹ ናቸው actionን እየፈጸሙት ያሉት. so actionኑ እየተፈጸመበት ያለ አካል ማን ነው? the story. እየተረሳ ያለው አካል ማን ነው? the story. እየረሳ ያለ አካል ማን ነው? the kids. okay, so the whole story was forgotten by the kids in a few days ማለት በተወሰነ ቀን ውስጥ ስቶሪው the whole story በልጆቹ ተረሳ. okay, we continue to question number 12. You would easily get a good job if you blank your spoken English. We're back to conditional sentence ጥያቄዎች ተመልሰናል. You would easily get a good job if you blank your spoken English. So would easily get. So this is an adjective. This is an adverb. I'm sorry. This is an adverb. It's modifying get. Getን እየገለጸልን. Okay? ታገኛለህ. እንዴት ታገኛለህ? በቀላሉ ተባል. So በቀላሉ እንዴት እንደማገኝ እየገለጸልኝ. So easily is an adverb. Easily is an adverb which is modifying get. So እኛ ፎከሳችን ግን would plus the verb ነው. So would እና get ነው የምናየው. would ነው. get is in its present simple form. present simple form ላይ ነው get. so would plus verb 1 የሚሆነው መቼ ነው? conditional type 2 ሲሆን. would plus verb 1 የሚሆነው conditional type 2 ሲሆን. so conditional type 2 ሲሆን if clause ላይ ምን ይመጣል? past simple tense. past simple tense. so the answer is A. And we continue. Nobody would like to go with a blank. So A ብሎ ካቆመ የሚቀጥለው የሚመጣው ነገር is probably a noun. Most probably a noun. So a noun and its adjective. ናውኑን የሚገልጽልን adjective. ናውኑን የሚገልጽልን adjective ደግሞ usually an adjective comes before the noun. እንደዚህ መሃል ላይ ወይ ከኋላ ምናምን የሚመጣ ከሆነ the noun, an adjective usually single word adjective ሲሆን ከፊት ይመጣል A ብሎ ካቆመ. So we have losing team. Losing is in its present participle form. Losing ያለው በpresent participle form ላይ ነው. So በpresent participle form ሆኖ ከናውን አጠገብ ከፊት ከናውን በፊት ከመጣ we've seen this ባለፈው ክላስ ላይ ከናውን በፊት መጥቶ present participle form ላይ participle form ላይ ከሆነ we use it as an adjective. ከናውን በኋላ የሚመጣ ከሆነ we use it as a tense changing verb. tense የሚቀይርልን እንደ verb እንጠቀምበታለን ማለት ነው. So losing team is the answer. Now we continue. The decision of the committee was fair. They offered the scholarship to all blank students. To all blank students. So አሁንም ከናውን በፊት የሚመጣ participle formula ያለ verb ሲሆን we use it as an adjective. So deserve የሚያደርጉ students. So here we have student blank students. So ሁለት participle form ነው ያለን deserving and deserved. So the whole sentence is in its past form. So the action has already passed. Already ያለፈ action ነው። already ያለፈ action ከሆነ ደግሞ student ተማሪዎቹ አሁን ማይገባቸው ሊሆኑ ይችላሉ. We don't know that. ምናቀው ነገር የለም. So በዛኔ ግን ያኔ አዋርዱ ሲሰጣቸው scholarship አዋርዱ ሲሰጣቸው deserving ነበሩ ያኔ. So to all deserved students ነው የምንለው because ያኔ ናቸው deserved የነበሩት. Okay, we don't know about them now ምን condition ላይ ምን ሁኔታ ላይ እንዳሉ ያኔ ግን they really deserved it ማለት ነው. And we continue. Many children often enjoy listening to such a blank story of adventure. So አሁንም participle form ላይ ያለ verb ነው adjectiveአችን. Okay, adjective which talks or modifies the noun story የሚለውን noun modify የሚያደርግልን adjective በparticiple form ላይ ነው ያለው. But the sentence is in its present continuous form because we have listening often አለ listening አለ. So present continuous form ላይ ነው ያለው. present continuous form ላይ ከሆነ obviously participleአችንም present participle ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው. present participle form. So እዚህ ጋር we look for present participle form which is exciting. Okay, and we continue. We studied together at college, but I blank her ever since. So እዚህ ላይም participle የምንጠቀመው participle is a tense changing participle. tense-ን ነው የሚቀይርልን participle. Okay, types of tenses we will see next time and the upcoming lessons በሚመጡት lessons ላይ እናያለን types of tenses. But ለዛሬ በተማርነው መሰረት we're gonna see participles. So tense changing participle ነው. So compound sentence like if the independent sentence is in its simple past form, the dependent sentence this is dependent sentence because ብቻውን ቆሞ ምንም ትርጉም አይሰጥም. ይሄ gives us a meaning. Okay, ለማለት ትችላለህ. ever since when የሚለው ጥያቄ ግን ይመጣል. ይሄ ብቻውን ከቆመ ምንድን ነው የምትለው? ever since when ከመቼ ጀምሮ ምናምን የሚለው ጥያቄ ይመጣል. So this is the dependent sentence, this is the independent sentence. Independent sentence is in its simple past form. line ያለው. So independent sentence simple past form like ከሆነ dependent sentence with it takes either present perfect or past perfect. With present perfect ነው የሚወስደው ወይ past perfect ነው የሚወስደው. It depends on the situation. So እነዚህ ውስጥ present perfect ያለን are this one and this one. ናቸው present perfect form ያላቸው. Present perfect form ያላቸው እነሱ ናቸው as we can see. So we need to know የቱን form እንደምወስድ negative or positive form. But የሚለው አለ. Here we have but የሚለው አለ. So but ሲሆን negative ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው ነገር ቀድሞ ከመጣው ነገር ኔጌቲቭ እንደሆነ ወይ ደግሞ ኮንትራዲክት እንደሚያደርገው for example ቀድሞ የመጣው ነገር ኔጌቲቭ ከሆነ ቀጥሎ በት አስገብተን ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው ነገር is supposed to be positive ቀድሞ የመጣው ነገር ፖዚቲቭ ሆኖ በት ካስገባንበት ደግሞ ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው ነገር is supposed to be negative ማለት ነው so እዚህ ጋር ያለው ፖዚቲቭ ነው but አለን so እዚህ ጋር የሚገባው ኔጌቲቭ ነው haven't seen ይሆናል so next question blank English is much harder than speaking it dash English is much harder than speaking it የመጀመሪያ ነገር ማወቅ ያለባችሁ ከፊት መጣ ማለት ፎርሙን ቀየረ ማለት አይደለም okay we have is እዚህ ጋር we have is so is in a present tense is ሲገባ ምን ያሳየናል continuous tense continuous የሆነ tense present participle ስለ present participle ስናወራ ደግሞ የሆነ verb if it's in its present participle form the present participle form ላይ ካለ እና tense ለመቀየር ለመፍጠር የምንጠቀምበት ከሆነ we say is writing okay because አሁን ሁሉም እነዚህ ሶስቱም present continuous form ላይ ነው ያለው so I'll tell you ለምን እንደማይሰራ so ዲን አውጥተናል ማለት ነው writing is the right one መልሳችን writing ነው having writing አይባልም because having ከፊት ሲመጣ ነው ወደ ing form የሚቀየረው እንጂ ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው verb doesn't change ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው active verb doesn't change it always stays in its past participle form past participle form ላይ ነው የሚቆየው ሁሌ አይቀየርም having ካልን ቀጥሎ የሚመጣው continuous ሊሆን አይችልም because we have the verb have ቀጥሎ መምጣት ያለበት is the past participle form of the active verb so having written ቢሆን it's still not right because እዚህ ጋር ያለው is in its continuous form speaking የሚለው continuous form ላይ ስለሆነ and we have the continuous indicator is ስላለን it wouldn't be right having written ብንል ለራሱ but having written is the correct form የዚህ አጻጻፍ correct form so getting writing so getting writing ሳይሆን getting ከፊት ሲመጣ getting to plus verb 1 getting to plus verb 1 so getting to write English ቢሆን maybe there would have been a possibility ምናልባት possibility ሊኖር ይችላል የሚገባበት possibility but getting to write ነው ይሄ ያለበት form ግን getting writing ነው getting writing which is totally wrong so መልሳችን writing ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው so that was all for today thank you very much for listening so አሁን በሰራናቸው ጥያቄዎች መሰረት ተገንዝባችኋል ብዬ የማስበው conditional sentence practice ማድረግ አለባችሁ በጣም because ይኖራል ጥያቄ ይኖራል and አንድ ሁለት ሲሸራረፍበት ማትሪክ ላይ it's got general GPA resultም ነው affect የሚሆነው so you need to work on conditional sentence participle እና modifiers ሌላ ፎርም ላይ ይመጣሉ ከሌላ ጥያቄ ጋር for example participles ከtense ጋር ይመጣል ከtense questions ጋር አንድ ላይ ይመጣል ብቻውን የሚመጣበት possibility ብዙ ጊዜ የለም but if it ካለም ካሁን በኋላም እየሰራን ስለምንሄድ we'll revise it again but የtense ፎርሞችን በሚቀጥሉት ለሰኖች ውስጥ የምናይ ይሆናል it was Qidist and thank you very much for listening